What's up? This is Jared Gray with my coach Jordan Range and the Dynasty Chef Steve. Good morning, fellas. Welcome to the IDP Army Livecast.
What's up?
What?
Let's do this thing. Let's get jiggy with it. Yeah, buddy. Week 2. We got some start-sit questions. We got some IDP goodness. We got some guys that are out. We got some guys you need to get in your lineup. We got, just all that shit that you love. IDP Army rep, Mahomes flex, Watt flex. I got a little something special for y'all. Got that stag hat, stag flex.
Oh, girl. Where's my stag hat? I'm going to have to get one of those. That's sexy.
Let's go. Let's do this. So, let's see.
All right, so let's pop. We got 12 people already popped in pretty quick. So, you guys got questions for your start sits? Let's hear them.
Yeah, we have a few on deck from the old Twitter sphere. I guess we can start there while these come flowing in. I'm going to pull up my bookmarks.
Javier, guys, good morning.
Good morning, guys. Yeah, whenever you guys send me stuff on Twitter, I usually try to bookmark it and then circle back to it on the show. What was that question we got last night that we said we were going to come back to? It was Brian Burns and DeMarcus Lawrence, I believe, something like that.
Yeah,
yeah, I remember that.
You guys got it pulled up?
Yeah.
I'm waking up. Let me check my Yahoo. He says. Well, there's a big one that we talked about separating because it was pick 4 or pick 2, right?
Yeah, I got it right here. It says B Hartley 4144 says pick 2 IDP 123 scoring. Brandon Graham versus the Rams, Jamie Collins versus Green Bay, Brian Burns versus Tampa Bay, or Preston Smith versus Detroit. I answered on there. I said I was taking Jamie Collins and Brian Burns. My thought process on that is just Brandon Graham's just one of those guys. He's always disruptive, but it's like it doesn't show up in the stat sheet in a big way necessarily. Like he'll get points, but he's not going to blow anyone's socks off. And then Preston Smith he was just a ghost last week, so I'm not putting him in my lineup when I can put guys out there who weren't ghosts. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's a pretty solid offensive line, in the Vikings. So I don't expect a ton of sacks or anything like that anyway. However, you got Detroit this week. I'm kind of liking me some Preston Smith. So,
who are you going to take then? Of those 2 of those 4?
So I like Collins. He was tearing up before he got ejected. So for me, I'm taking Collins and Smith actually.
Nice.
I don't trust Lawrence at all.
Really?
Yeah, bro. Look at him last week. So just like last year, Robert Quinn was the guy to have, right? Who's the guy to have right now? Would we agree it's Aldon Smith?
Oh yeah.
Yeah. All right, we got a question here from the old Twitter sphere. We said start Aldon Smith or Chandler Jones as my DE2.
The fact that you got Chandler Jones as a defensive end is pretty awesome. So I'll be honest with you, I'm not fading Aldon Smith at all. I actually have Chandler Jones as a linebacker in one of my leagues, and I'm playing Chandler Jones over Kenneth Murray because of the match. So
who are you gonna take?
Tasty, in this one? Dude. In this one, actually, I love Aldon Smith right now, man. I like the play against Atlanta. It's hard for me in this thing, but Chandler Jones got a juicy matchup. I mean, you got to like the Washington matchup here.
Yeah, I'm taking Chandler Jones still. I mean, I know Aldon Smith had a big game last week, but, Chandler Jones is about as tried and true as they come. He doesn't – he's had double-digit sacks, 5 years in a row now?
Yep.
I'll just take that to the bank and call it a day personally.
Yeah, I'm with you. I would Chandler Jones. If I have to pick between the two right now, I'm going to go with the guy that's been consistent the last 5 years instead of the guy who hasn't played the last 5 years. So I'm loving it. I'm a Chandler Jones dude. So I watched somebody drop this guy on waivers, and I literally picked him up 5 seconds later.
Mm-hmm.
Wow. Another Aldon Smith question here. So Aldon Smith as a linebacker, DE versus Atlanta, or DeForest Buckner versus Minnesota?
People are excited about
dude, on this one, I'm going to go with Aldon Smith on this one. Like I said, Minnesota actually has a pretty good offensive line. Aldon Smith is going to tear up Atlanta. So
I got him. So you're taking Aldon Smith?
Yeah.
I got him pretty close. I got DeForest Buckner at 21 this week, and I got Aldon Smith at 25. So,
I mean, I'll give you a good example.
Up.
What did Yannick do last week?
Nothing, but he hasn't been in camp or anything. Like that's
okay. What did Afedi do last week?
Kind of ease him in.
Nothing.
Well, he's always been an upside play. I mean, it's not like if you were banking on Afedi to go out there and have a great week, that's on you. I mean, that's the reason he had to get somebody hurt, and they brought in Yannick to get in the lineup. I mean,
we're just talking about Green Bay playing them last week. Green Bay didn't have a great defensive game against Minnesota because their line played really well. So I'm going to take Aldon Smith against Atlanta, who, let's be real, will let Matt Ryan get sacked all day. So.
All right, there you go on that one. We got some more over here. We got another one coming in from Javier. Shaq Thompson or Shaq Barrett in the same game versus Carolina versus Tampa Bay today. Ooh, that's
Tampa Bay's that's a tough one. I mean, Brady got hit a few times last week. Overall, they played pretty well. However, on the other side, Shaq Thompson is going to get, he's going to play every freaking snap on possible. So
yeah.
By playability, I'm going to go Shaq Thompson here. Shaq Barrett actually has the bigger upside because he's bigger chance to get sacks and whatnot. But for me, the playability side is Thompson.
Yeah, I think Thompson is your play. Probably is like your more floor guy. But I think Shaq Barrett could have a really big week this week against Carolina. I mean, he should be successful. I think against that line, it's pretty. Teddy Bridgewater isn't exactly mobile. I don't know if that line is overly strong. So I think Shaq Barrett could blow up this week in a way Shaq Thompson couldn't. But I think Shaq Thompson is probably the safer play of the two. So I lean Shaq Thompson, but I'm telling you what, on every league that I have Shaq Barrett, I've found a way to squeeze him into my lineup. So I'm trying to squeeze him into my lineup, especially if it's not an IDP suppressed league. If it's an IDP suppressed league where it's like a tackle heavy thing, then it's Shaq Thompson easy. But if your league rewards things properly, it should be pretty close, in my opinion. So. All right, we got another question here. Josh Bro 18, Neville Hewitt or Josh Jones in the flex? So Josh Jones is the safety for the Jags that is kind of replacing Ronnie Harrison. He had a really good week last week. And then we got Neville Hewitt, the linebacker for the Jags, who just seems to find a way onto the field 2 years in a row now pretty consistently. Who you guys taking in that one?
Honestly, for me, I'm taking Jones. Because of the matchup. I really like the Josh Jones play here. They're going to go after him often, and I think he's another 5 to 6, 7 tackle game. So,
I'm going Neville Hewitt in this one just because we know that the Jets suck.
That's true.
He's going to be on the field so much. Apparently, he was asked to rush the passer like the most or the second most of any linebacker last week. So I think that they're going to be aggressive on defense because they can't be aggressive on offense. So I think there's a chance for Neville Hewitt to blow up in a way that maybe Josh Jones doesn't. But again, I think they're both okay options, but I like to go for the more upside.
I'm going for the floor here. The floor here, I think, is Josh Jones. So,
yeah. So there you go, man. It's a split decision. What do you got, Steve?
I think I'm going to go with Neville Hewitt here. I think the Jets are going to be on defense a lot, and he's going to have a lot of opportunities to get a lot of tackles. And like you said, if he gets just a couple of chances to rush the passer, he's going to get a couple sacks, maybe even.
Yeah, he could have a Marcus May type of game.
Heck yeah.
I mean, Marcus May got a couple last week.
I
mean, it's possible.
There you go.
I'm playing Marcus May all day, so there's that.
Marcus May all day.
Neville Hewitt, 2 sacks today.
Steve, you're crazy.
I know I am.
All right, NC2 on the YouTube saying Cam Jordan, Chris Jones, or Preston Smith. Well, it's not Preston Smith for me with Cam Jordan and Chris Jones in the discussion.
It's the other two, yeah, for sure.
And I've got Cam Jordan higher in my rankings this week. But if I'm being real, man, that's tough.
That's a juicy matchup.
Yeah, Cam Jordan versus Las Vegas. Then you got Chris Jones versus the Chargers. Chris Jones is they're both so solid. That's tough. How do you, I don't know. I'm taking Cam Jordan.
Well, I look at this
I'm tired of my rankings this week. I got him at 5.
The Chargers had so much problems with the Bengals, and yet the Browns ran right through the Bengals defense. What is Chris Jones about to do to the Chargers offensive line?
He's gonna
is the way I look at it. He's gonna eat. So
you're gonna swallow him
up.
That
dude. Honestly, Chris Jones is the play all day for me. I love that matchup. I love it. So
yeah, that's fair.
It looks tasty, bro.
If I'm going with my rankings, I'm going Cam Jordan. But if I'm going with my heart, I'm probably going Chris Jones, just because I think he's gonna gobble some guys up. All right, Another Aldon Smith question. Aldon Smith or Chase Winovich? Who y'all got?
It's Aldon Smith, man. That matchup is too good. Atlanta's going to give it up. And
it's Aldon Smith.
I love me some Aldon Smith right now, dude.
I love Chase Winovich too, but, Aldon Smith is the play.
It's the hair. That's all it is for Chase Winovich. Here's the thing is all they talked about the entire preseason before the first game, Aldon Smith looks amazing in camp. Aldon Smith keeps getting to Dak Prescott in camp. And that's a great offensive line. And if he's doing that in camp against that offensive line, what's he doing to poorish offensive lines like Atlanta? So 2 sacks today for my man Aldon Smith, 4 tackles. Call it good.
All right, we got a question from Tyler Walker of the YouTube. He says, Buckner or Flowers? I'm assuming that means started Hubbard on Thursday night. Thanks, guys. Yeah, I started Hubbard on Thursday night too, pretty much everywhere. I was
let down, bro. I'm with you.
The entire Bengals defense was they were all just crashing in everywhere. It just looked like a pile constantly. It was ugly. It was not pretty.
I'm going Flowers here. We talked about it last week on the Monday show. We're like, hey, maybe we should really be bringing Flowers into some talk here about being a top 10 guy. I love Buckner. Do not get this twisted. And I know my man Jordan has been a Buckner fan from the get, but I love the Flowers play.
Yeah, I like Flowers this week too. I have him back-to-back in my rankings. Flowers is just so disruptive, you know what I mean? And he is, same thing with Buckner. They're both so disruptive. I'm probably taking Buckner over Flowers, but, it's so close. For the Hail Mary here, I'm going to take Buckner just because, again, I love Kirk Cousins, but he does like to give the ball up. And
again, it's the offensive line for me.
Yeah, but who has a better off? You think the Vikings offensive line is stouter than the Green Bay's offensive line?
Well, here's what I'll give you. This is why I'll go with Buckner with you on this one is because, and it's not the offensive line, it's the quarterback play. Dude, Rodgers gets that ball out quicker than any other quarterback in the league, it seems like. It was less than 2 seconds all day, like 1.7 seconds. Boom, boom, boom. So in that aspect, yeah, but I don't trust Green Bay's offensive line near as much as the Vikings.
Fair.
It's the quarterback.
All right.
So
here we go. Josh Bro had the exact same thoughts on Hewitt. Thanks, guys. You're welcome, man. Ben Hartley, what's up, yo? Let's go. Wake up Sunday, baby.
Let's go.
You know how we do. All right, we got a lot of questions here. I'm going to try to get through them. What are your thoughts on the Taylor Rapp situation? Is Jordan Fuller worth a look at look at to start?
When the coach says Jordan Fuller's look better and he's getting the guy, yeah. The coach flat benched Taylor Rapp over Jordan Fuller. What's that tell you?
Ouch.
It was a position thing last year. Taylor Rapp got the love because John Johnson got hurt. John Johnson ain't hurt. And if a player's outplaying somebody else, yeah, we love Taylor Rapp from last year. But Jordan Fuller looks good, dude. So if the coach is playing him over him, yeah, you gotta give it a look. I don't know how you guys feel about it, but
yeah, you got to consider it. Like you said, Rapp didn't get much work last week. I heard he was coming off an injury, and that's why they didn't play him. I don't know if he necessarily got benched. But I mean, until he's out there for more snaps than he was last week, you can't play Taylor Rapp. So that's Jordan Fuller is worth a look if you need a guy.
Yep, I agree.
Got another question from Javier. Are Littleton's numbers with the Raiders going to improve? He played MLB for the Rams and played OLB last game with Las Vegas. I mean, they should. I mean, he didn't have a spectacular game last week, but we know that Corey Littleton can have spectacular games. I'm not, it's week one. One thing's happened. We have one data point. We have one moment in time. I mean, this is a 17-week season. I think he'll have a good game.
It's not time to panic yet.
Yeah.
Oh, no, definitely not time to panic yet. I mean, you don't pay a linebacker like that. And Kwiatkowski looks like he might not play. So in that aspect, you kind of have to play him, right?
Yeah.
I mean, he still had decent. I mean, if we're saying if we're going to fade Corey Littleton, are we fading Darius Leonard? Because they're basically the same stat line. And you're not fading Darius Leonard. So
nope.
Exactly. It honestly, it's just a really good matchup last week that didn't help Littleton. So
hit me with a couple of CB streamers. I don't know who's on your cornerback waiver wire, man. I don't know how deep your league is. I got no clue. You start in 1, you start in 3, you start in 5.
I
don't know. I can't.
Throw a couple names out there. Maybe Jair Alexander had a pretty good week last week.
Jair Alexander is a must.
Yep.
Honestly, a guy that I'm really looking at, and it's because you look at him Thursday night, he led the Browns in tackles. He missed the sack by minute thing. Is Trey Thomas. Like you kind of have to look at him. He's been a really high tackle guy. He's been really consistent ever since. Now he's a streamer because once the other guys get healthy, they're probably pulling him back. But maybe, but he's balling. So that's a guy that I'm looking in the future for sure.
He's a little bit older, but Janoris Jenkins probably on your waiver wire, and he always has a for the end zone.
Jenkins been balling, dude. So he looked good last week.
I know they already played, but what do you guys think about Carlos Dunlap? He's been bad for 2 straight weeks. He started off slow last year too. I mean, you probably didn't draft him to be your 1. He's probably your 2 or your 3. So, I mean, my question is like, what are you expecting from your 2 or your 3?
The difference is Burrow's keeping the team on the field.
Yeah.
So I don't love Dunlap as much. So.
Yeah, he's not getting as many snaps as Hubbard either. So there's definitely that to consider. Another big question. We got pick 2, Brandon Graham, Jamie Collins. Oh, we already answered this one. We opened the show with answering this one, bro. I guess you weren't here, but I took Jamie Collins and Brian Burns, and Jared took Collins and Preston Smith. So,
and I can understand not playing Preston Smith last week because he had because of the Vikings. I like the matchup much more this week. He actually has played really well against the Lions, so that's why I like to play. I mean. Steve, you have to look for me, and maybe I'll look. I think he had like 4 sacks against the Lions last year. So
check that real quick.
Jabril Peppers or Jeremy Chin?
Ooh,
that's tough. That's really
honestly, it's a tough one because I mean you're getting Jeremy Chin as a safety playing linebacker, so I love Chin. I mean, the only other person is kind of like that is. Adrian Phillips, and Adrian Phillips isn't playing near as much as Jeremy Chin. So, snap-wise.
I've got Jabril Peppers higher in my rankings this week, but I mean, it's really close. Let me double-check where I have Chin at. I know Jabril Peppers is in my top 12. Jeremy Chin's at 13. So, Jabril Peppers is 9 for me. Jeremy Chin's 13. That's, splitting hairs, I guess you could say. Maybe now I'm looking at it, I'm going to lean Jeremy Chin over Jabril Peppers just because it's Tampa Bay. They should move the ball more easily than Chicago. So I'm actually going to adjust my rankings to reflect how I really feel. So Jeremy Chin,
I think Jeremy Chin is going to be on the field more than –
he's playing linebacker snaps too, like for real, not like, speculatively. So that's kind of a cheat code. I mean, everyone likes to say cheat code. I mean, it's a player.
It's real, though.
Yeah, so get it while the getting's good. We got another one here. Buckner or Wilkins in DT specific? Definitely Buckner. I mean, I know Wilkins had a pretty good game last week, but they took his sack away, so the points went down. And we know what Buckner is. We have 5-6 years of all-pro level production from DeForest Buckner, and we have a game from Wilkins. So definitely Buckner.
I agree.
All right. For safety, Poyer at Miami, Collins, Arizona, or Chin, Tampa Bay. Balanced scoring. It's Collins for me.
Yeah, I love Collins. I mean, he was what? The funny thing is the two safeties led the teams in tackles last week, didn't they? So that'll tell you a lot. Was it Apke or
Apke?
Yeah, Apke and Collins, I think, led the team in tackles last week. So
yeah, I'm definitely going. I'm going
Collins. I love Collins. Yeah, Arizona's going to stay on the field. I mean, that offense is great. So I'm playing everybody against Washington. As good as their defensive line played last week, that was without Lane Johnson, who might be the best right tackle in football, or left tackle in football. The dude is a monster. Without him in the team, Washington ate Philly up. So I love the play in Collins overall. So
thoughts on Brandon Jones, safety for Miami in dynasty leagues? I haven't really looked at him a whole lot. Really, didn't he just kind of?
He's a rookie. I just put him in my top 20. He's my rookie top 25. Obviously, this guy's been injured, so he's been moved up. I like him. He was a captain at Texas. As much as I hate Texas, you guys know this. I'm an Oklahoma fan. So, but overall, he's a great stash. He played well last week, and New England didn't even throw the ball that much. He still played really well. So, he's a tackle guy too for sure. So, good range. So I like him overall as the dynasty stash.
Definitely not fading Littleton, but just wanted inside things. Yeah, you're welcome, man. Okay, start 2 corners. I mean, I like all the corners. That's back to the corner streaming thing. I mean, I like all the corners for the Ravens. I like all the corners for Tampa Bay. They're going to be people are going to have to throw on them. I like
Green Bay.
Hayden. I like Mike Hilton, Tre'Davious White. I mean, I don't know if these guys are available or not. I mean,
Steve already said it. Jair Alexander is ridiculous.
Yeah, he should already be rostered though. Probably. I mean, he's one of the top corners. I mean, that's the thing with streaming. I'm like, I don't know who in your league or just draft. I mean, is Jalen Ramsey available? I mean, I don't know.
Yeah, who's on your team? Yeah, Jalen Ramsey, another good play. So,
yeah, exactly. Who's on your team? Like, do you have 2 cornerbacks that you're starting? Yeah. Mm-hmm. I mean, if I start 2, I would just have 2 in my lineup every week, and I don't think about that position. That's how I play my corners. I draft good ones. I play them. I mean, I take them out when I have a bye week, and I pick somebody else. I don't get fancy. I don't dance around it personally. I don't have enough time to think about that, or can be concerned about it. It's such a hard position to project. So just get the guys you're going to project pretty high all the season, Team Hale, how effective can Jeff Okudah be in his first start? Desmond Trufant ruled out.
They're going to go after him. And I already said this. Jeff Okudah is an all-pro corner. He's the only corner in my rookie top 25 because they will test him and he will embarrass you. I'll give you a quick stat about Jeff Okudah in college. He didn't commit a single penalty, and you still couldn't touch him. So he's real, dude. I love Jeff Okudah. I mean, tell me this. If it was Marshawn Lattimore, would you play him? That you want the comparison? There you are. He's as good or better than Marshawn Lattimore. And they went to the same college. So
there you go. Who's Detroit play this week? Green Bay? Mm-hmm. Yeah, Green Bay. He should be given ample opportunity to make plays on the ball and tackles. So
I mean, he might play Adams, but
that's even better.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, he's going to target 7 tackles. There you go. 10
All
tackles.
Right.
Who knows?
Tyler Walker on YouTube says, "Is Kerrigan worth an ad, or was his game more of a one-time thing last week?" He said he didn't play as many snaps, but his sacks boost his numbers.
He had 22 snaps and had 2 sacks out of it.
Ryan Kerrigan is one of the best, most consistent pass rushers in the last decade.
Agreed.
He had like what he had a bunch of pressures last week on minimal snaps. He had a bunch of quarterback hits. I mean, he got home twice. I mean, he is. I mean, I don't know. We don't know that number is going to be the same as last week. You know, to just say
that's crazy. 2 sacks in 22 snaps is ridiculous.
I picked him up, and I'm playing him a couple of spots for sure.
That Philly offensive line is pretty suspect.
Like I said, Lane Johnson was out, right? Brooks out. Dude, I'm telling you, I think it was a matter of play last week. People being injured, good opportunity. The 22 snap. Ryan Kerrigan isn't going to have 2 more snacks in a game on 22 snaps. It was a play. It was a great play last week because Philly's line was toasted. So Aaron Donald's will play like crazy this week. So there's that.
Who benefits more with Milano and Edmonds out, Hyde or Poyer? I mean, it's probably Poyer. Hyde is good, but he's not really the tackle guy, the downhill guy, the strong safety per se. I like Hyde a lot, but I mean, Poyer's
been a top 10 safety the last 3 years. So yeah. With the 2 starting linebackers out, dude, Poyer's a must play. He might be a 30-point guy this week.
Yeah. Here's a question that's not on here, but I got this morning. It was, who would you rather start, Dante Fowler or DeMarcus Lawrence this week?
No.
For me, Fowler.
Yeah, it was Fowler. That's what I said too. He's getting, same game, but Fowler's got, he's coming up against, the beat up Cowboys line. They've got Grady Jarrett coming through the middle. I think it's going to be a productive day for Fowler. And DeMarcus Lawrence has been,
McKinley looked great last week, though. DeCarris McKinley looked great last week. I mean, he actually had more snaps than Fowler did last week.
Yeah, but Fowler's coming off an ankle injury, so I don't really. We know who got paid. We know who's talented there. I mean, that's great that Tack got more snaps, but I'm not playing Tack personally anywhere. I'm playing Fowler everywhere. So, and DeMarcus Lawrence has been a letdown since 2 years ago, basically. I mean, he didn't have like almost a single game last year where he made you happy. And he started out this season just, again, as dust. 1, 2, 3 points, I think, something ridiculous like that. So I'm worried. I dropped him significantly in my rankings just because, he'll go out today and probably look good, OBJ, and then shit the bed the rest of the season. But, we got here and says, no love for Washington defense, even after 8 sacks, 2 interceptions, a fumble recovery against Philly.
No. We're the last. You can't say that, Chris. I have said from the get-go, Washington is the best defensive line in the game.
We've been talking them up for 2 years, bro. Where you been?
Yeah,
but I mean, they get Kyler. Kyler gets out of the pocket. I mean, look what he made San Francisco look like they were walking on skates last week. So he's going to give them problems. I don't see an 8-sack, 2 interception, kind of day coming.
Yeah, and don't get me wrong. I mean, we have said this from the get. They are the best defensive line in the thing. However, can't nobody argue that Philly's offensive line is top tier, middle of the pack. They're at the bottom third of the NFL last week, right? They were bottom third of the NFL the year before. So without Lane Johnson playing last week is massive. Without Brooks playing, massive. They'll be better this week just because they have Lane Johnson, and I'm still playing Aaron Donald because Aaron Donald was the other side of Lane Johnson. So don't get me wrong. And I know Team Hale, Chris, best cook I know probably. Washington's real, and we said Washington's real. I don't think they're going to have 8 sacks again. That's just not a thing. I can still see 4 though.
Oh yeah, 4 or 5 could easily be standard.
4 or 5 against Kyler's still tough, dude. So
good, but
it's funny too. People act like Washington's it's new that they're sack leaders. It's like they've been one of the last 6-7 years they've been in the top 5 sack producers in the NFL just repeatedly.
They were the worst. They were the worst team against the run last year. 32nd. That's crazy. To be that good against the pass and that bad against the run is weird to me.
Well, they didn't have any linebackers last year. I mean, they had Cole Holcomb, and he's like benched because he sucks, I think. So, any thoughts on Jordan Fuller? We talked about him earlier, Lucas, and if Rapp's going to be injured or potentially even just like working to get back onto the field against this guy, I mean, yeah, he's got a shot to be somebody. I mean, we saw how productive Rapp could be. They've only talked this guy up. I didn't watch what is that thing they do on HBO? Hard Knocks. Mm-hmm. So I don't know what the narrative was around this kid or anything. Do you guys know anything about that? I mean, he had a good game definitely this last week. But...
He's played real. He said that McVay has loved both rookies that have come in and played safety. Right?
Yeah, but
he feels no problem playing them.
Sean McVay says he loves everybody. I mean, like
that's true. Always, but I mean, when you're actually seeing them get the playing time, tells you a lot.
True.
Yeah.
He loves.
I like Fuller, and I liked Fuller in college, so he just transitioned really well. But honestly, it was a good play for a safety last week because Dallas throws the crap out of the ball. You know, the one touchdown was a pass to the running back, but so I don't know. I like Fuller. Honestly, let's be real. Is there a Fuller in the league that isn't good?
No, not that I could think of.
Right? I mean, it's synonymous with football. Those guys can ball, so this is a tough
one. Flex play. Pick one. Quan Alexander, Rashaan Evans, or John Johnson. Who you guys?
Quan Alexander played 99% of snaps. Was out because I was talking to a buddy yesterday about this. I think he had to tie his shoe. Was the only play he was out.
So, all right, there you go, Quan Alexander.
And they're banged up. They're banged up on the defensive line. So I love me some Quan Alexander play here. If he doesn't make it through the season, which I love Dre Greenlaw long term, but Quan Alexander today is a really good play for me.
Yeah.
My only concern with that is they're playing the Jets, who should just – it should be a lot of 3 and outs. I mean, they should just get melted. And I could see that being a low –
I like that reference.
A low volume sort of tackle game just because of the way the game is played. I'm a little bit more interested in John Johnson and a little bit more interested in Rashaan Evans. But honestly,
99% of snaps is hard to say no to.
Yeah, but I mean, 99% of offense or defensive snaps for the 49ers may end up being 48 snaps. 80% of the defensive snaps for the Titans could end up being the same number. I mean,
sure, the Titans are going to stay on the field. I'm with you on that.
I'm interested in John Johnson here, and I don't know. That's really tough.
The Titans' offense will stay on the field. The Titans' defense won't.
I don't know, man. The Jags, I mean, people keep talking like the Jags aren't good, but, I mean, they've been pretty dang good the last 6-7 games they've played. And I think they smoke the Titans last year when they played them, or in the first game of the season, at least I think they smoked them.
Yeah, that was without Tannehill. Once Tannehill came, there was a blowout.
Mm-hmm.
Very true.
Yeah, they got trucking with old Henry and
I like Quan Alexander. I think it's a good play this week.
Yeah,
I like Rashaan Evans, though.
I'm going to take Rashaan Evans, and I fully expect John Johnson to be the play here. So that's life. Do you trust Kenneth Murray? Yes, I do trust Kenneth Murray. He played 91% of snaps. Sure, he didn't have the big game last week like Patrick Queen had, but he played more snaps than Patrick Queen did, percentage-wise. So
Queen just had the sack and
and the forced fumble. Without that, he's just an 8-tackle guy on 84% of snaps.
And honestly, he got 8 tackles because of 3 missed tackles. I mean, he should have never even got 3 or 4 of those tackles. So
yeah, he sucks.
Kenneth Murray played really good against an offense that honestly plays really well. We've seen that. They spread him around.
Who?
Kenneth Murray played 91% of snaps, like you said before. I have a tough play here because I have Chandler Jones and Kenneth Murray. My love for Kenneth Murray is real, and I think he's going to be the defensive rookie of the year. So I don't know.
Yeah. Kenneth Murray's the play. He's who I'm playing. Do we have any – Steve, can you see if anybody's been declared out or anything yet? Or when does that happen? I thought maybe like 9:30 or 10:30. So Can you double check? I'm kind of looking at Rap Sheet's Twitter, but I don't see anything. Thanks. Appreciate all the hard work. Thanks, Tyler, man. We're here to help the IDP Army go out there and beat the other guys. So go out there and make us proud, guys. All right. We got another question here on the YouTube. Best 2 linebackers, A.J. Johnson, Jerome Baker, K.J. Wright, John Bostic. We start 5 in our league. Okay, so he wants 2 more.
You got to start Bostic now, right? Jerome Baker's a must-play after last week.
Yeah, Jerome Baker and I guess John Bostic, because I heard Thomas Davis is actually playing this week, so maybe A.J. Johnson is the play.
Didn't Thomas Davis get released? Oh, you're talking about Thomas Davis for the Washington. Sorry.
Yeah.
John Bostic played so good last week, though.
Yeah, I mean, he did. And we know Ron Rivera loves a linebacker, so he's going to give him opportunities to do things. Let me look. I'm trying to see where he is in my rankings this week.
I love A.J. Johnson, though.
I have Johnson at 32 and Bostic at 34. I have Jerome Baker much higher than that. I have him at 22. So obviously it's Baker, and then I guess it's, according to my rankings, I'm taking Johnson. But I mean, it's razor thin. I mean, they're one person apart. They're only separated by Nate Gary. So that's for me.
Well, so another thing with A.J. Johnson is basically every wide receiver is healthy or is playing at least for the Broncos. Sutton's back. Judy obviously is healthy. KJ Hamler's going to play this week. They just announced that he'll make his debut. With all of the weapons that they have, and dude, A.J. Johnson honestly is going to get some playing time, and I think they're going to end up chasing. So A.J. Johnson's a big play in general. I've been on the A.J. Johnson train, even though he's older. Got his opportunity. He's a great story. I like the A.J. Johnson, Jerome Baker play. But John Bostic is gonna, has to worry about a really, really good offense in Arizona. So.
Yeah. Just before we go down to some more questions we got here piling up, some outs, guys. Obviously, D Ford was announced out yesterday. Get him out of your lineups. Kenny Clark is also out. Get him out of your lineups if you have him. That really sucks. He was banged up a lot last year, and I was really hoping we could get a lot more healthy Kenny Clark. We still have questionable on Robert Quinn and Khalil Mack. Steve, can you check on the Bears Twitter page, see if they've announced who's out?
I think they said Quinn might be out again. Devontae Parker's active this week. That's weird.
See Bears.
Do we got any outs yet?
I got Adrian Colbert. Let's see who else we got. I still see Quinn is questionable. Mack is questionable. Okay. Coughlin is questionable. Tate is questionable. Yeah, they're still listing him as questionable on the site on NFL.
Okay. Looks like the Jets are expecting Avery Williamson back today. I'm seeing that from Connor J. Rogers. He's a notorious Jets fan. Feel bad for him. Nice guy, though. We met him at the Senior Bowl, didn't we, Steve?
Yes. He's awesome.
Yeah, he was a fun guy to talk to. If he just wasn't a Jets fan.
Nope.
He'd have a lot going for him. Sorry, man. What's up, guys? Have a great Sunday. Yeah, buddy. Let's go do it. Another Tyler question we got here. Who would you rather have season long, Roquan Smith or Devin Bush?
Roquan.
Also, Jeremy Smith or Jeremy Chin or John Johnson. This sucks. This question's hard.
So
Roquan is the first.
It's Roquan. Okay, I mean, dude's a savage. He gets in the backfield, plays really well. Don't fade on Devin Bush. Still really great. I'm playing both if I have both. However, I continue to plug my guy Terrell Edmonds, who led the team in tackles last week, had more solos than Devin Bush as the safety. So people keep fading Terrell Edmonds for some reason, and that dude just continues to get more solo tackles than Devin Bush. So that's just me loving on Terrell Edmonds, who people are fading for some reason. That dude's on pace for like 130 tackles right now.
Yeah. So, and then what about the defensive backs there, Jeremy Chin or John Johnson?
I'm a John Johnson fan. I really expected a big game out of him last week. Didn't have it. Jeremy Chin playing safety and actually playing linebacker. Would you play a safety over a linebacker? Probably
it's
not.
tough because John Johnson has a track record, though. I mean, of going over 120 tackles. You know, I mean, that's big. I mean, if a linebacker can get there, that's big. Like, so it's philosophically the answer is Jeremy Chin because he's playing linebacker. But the reality is we haven't seen Jeremy Chin in the NFL playing any position reach what we've seen John Johnson reach and seen him pace for. On top of that, we know John Johnson is good in coverage because he has had multiple interceptions. He does have multiple pass deflections. He does have an okay-ish number of tackles for loss. And the linebacking situation in front of him is garbage now. So I'm still going to go John Johnson here with you. I mean, it's razor thin. And again, the fact that Chin's playing a lot of linebacker is really what's making this a hard decision. But we have to go with the known track record. I mean, I make like on the list of things that matter to me in fantasy football, the number one thing above anything and everything else is a known commodity, a guy who's done it before, weekly in a season long format. Like that's always going to be, you know, if you have a track record of success, that already puts you ahead of guys like Jeremy Chin, who sure he went out this last week and sure he had 8 tackles. Like that's really good, but that's one game. We've seen John Johnson go out there and put up, you know, game after game after game after game of like a 7 tackle floor on top of what else he offers. So I'm John Johnson on that question. We kind of lingered on that one, but that was a tough one. That was a heater right there.
It is a tough one because it could be both. Honestly, I like both. I like both those players. I hope you have all 4 of those players on your team, just so everybody else is pissed you got them. So
fair. All right. So Jayon Brown or Danny Trevathan?
I love me some DT.
Yeah, we love Trevathan around here.
I mean, here's the thing with, you know, I'm a floor guy. Danny Trevathan's a great floor guy. Jayon Brown is a great ceiling guy. Both have been injured. Playing today, I'm probably going Jayon Brown.
All right. Yeah, I'm the same. I'm taking Jayon Brown. Sorry, guys. I'm looking at some stuff here. Chin or Poyer? I'm taking Chin in that situation.
We just talked. This is a tough one. This is super tough because the starting 2 linebackers are out for the Bills. Poyer's gonna have a day.
It's true.
Can you play both? Because I'm playing both probably, unless you have Jamal Adams.
Yeah.
So I like both these plays today.
I like them both there too, but I'm taking Chin. If I'm picking between the 2, it's Chin for me. Yeah. So Lucas G, what we got here
splitting hairs
regarding Jayon Brown and Danny Trevathan? I have them in my team, and I was going to play Kirksey and Micah Kiser instead. What do you think? Ooh, interesting.
I watched Micah Kiser miss 3 tackles last week, even though he played really well. Kirksey, honestly, played. I mean, he had a good week last week, right? I mean,
yeah, he did.
When he's healthy, he can have 130 tackles. So
that's so fucking tough, guys. Why are you asking so many tough questions?
They want the answers.
I know. I'm probably taking.
I kind of like your play right now, Kirksey and Kiser.
I'm taking Jayon Brown and Kirksey. I love Danny Trevathan, but I'm still going to take Kirksey. And yeah, that's just where I'm at. So,
well, I mean, here's why. I mean, I like Kiser in general because you know he's going to play plenty. The matchup is pretty solid. I think honestly, I'm okay with you playing with where you're at, Kirksey and Kiser, but Jayon Brown and Kiser would be the flip. I'm playing Kirksey no matter what.
Any updates on Danielle Hunter and his neck? Oh, he was put on IR, so we know it's going to be at least 3 weeks. So he won't be there this week. He won't be there next week. So I assume we'll get an update after next week.
I'm kind of worried about playing him the week after that. So
yeah, I'm definitely. I don't know if I want to. You ease a guy like that back into your lineup. Hopefully, you are positioning yourself right now to have guys that you are comfortable with or confident with, at least on your team. You still got to make the right plays to where you aren't forced into playing a Hunter coming off a neck injury and off IR, cold. So you will probably want to play him, but if you have other guys and you position yourself like that, I definitely would be looking to do that and see how week one goes. Week one back goes for him. Darian Thompson or Terrell Edmonds this week? Still Terrell Edmonds for me. I know Thompson had a good week last week, but we have Edmonds going over 100 tackles this last season. I mean, he doesn't make a lot of disruptive plays, but he does get tackles, and that's the almighty tackle. So ask any 10-year, 20-year grizzled IDP veteran. Nothing beats a tackle. So
yeah, I'm not going to get off the Terrell Edmonds train. Darian Thompson, love him. I mean, I love the fact he even pushed Clinton Dix out. I mean, literally they laughed him out of Dallas, which I can't believe my tweet didn't get more love on that one. But Terrell Edmonds is consistent. I mean, he's a 9-tackle guy. I mean, if I can tell you, hey, you're going to get 9 tackles out of Terrell Edmonds this week, Thompson could very possibly be the same way. Thompson's going to get thrown at plenty. It could be a complete shootout in Dallas. I actually like both plays, Darian and Terrell Edmonds today. So you can pick either one. Who's Pittsburgh playing?
I don't know. Somebody they're going to beat.
Confidence. Pittsburgh is playing Broncos.
The Broncos. So, Broncos are going to throw too. So yeah, they're going to crush him. Personally, I'm with you.
Devontae Parker is active. Khalil Mack is active, according to the television show I'm watching right now.
Because of the play, and honestly, I think that Atlanta's going to throw the ball a lot more than Denver. I'm going to go Darian Thompson. If that's your play, I'm probably playing both though.
Pick 3: Budda Baker, Peppers, Matthew, Edmonds, and Willis. Budda Baker is a lock. Peppers is a lock. And then I'm going to go Tyrann Mathieu for the swag.
Yeah.
You love you some Tyrann Mathieu. I'm going Edmonds.
Swag lock. All right. And they're close. I mean, they were back-to-back in my season-long rankings. They're probably going to be really close all season for me. So, good question, Ben. Hey, got to run, fellas. Have a good luck. Yeah, you too, man. Hopefully you go out there and get that dub for the IDP Army. Don't apologize for it. Thoughts on Clay Johnson to Panthers with former DC Phil Snow dynasty perspective? I'm not up to date with this move at all, Russ. So I don't have any thoughts at the moment. I'm sorry.
Clay Johnson is the guy that, I mean, his dad is one on the coaching staff. He was on the was at the Rams, right? In thing. I like Clay Johnson. He's just a nice dude. I don't think he's a great dynasty play, personally. He's on the practice squad right now, right? So overall, I like Clay Johnson. He's a good person, but I don't think he's a great linebacker.
Fair. All right, we got another one from the YouTube. Dale Teeters. Am I foolish to start Antoine Winfield and Jonathan Abram over John Johnson? Yeah.
No. Here's why I say no. Dude, Antoine Winfield was in on almost every play last week against Breeze. I mean, all over the place. He dropped 2 interceptions that he dove for, right? Yeah, so he could have had 2 interceptions. Jonathan Abram has been balling. I mean, we already say that. John Johnson, it's going to matter if they throw to him. And I'm okay with it. I don't think you're foolish. The 2 young cats got a lot more energy than John Johnson. They switched John Johnson to the other side. I'm actually okay with it, and we can write it on the whiteboard.
Robert Quinn is in, boys.
Write it.
Quinn is in.
All right.
Love it.
That's a big play. That's a big play. I mean, he's a start, right?
Yeah, unless you have a better start. What we got here for my answer on this is John Johnson over Winfield Jr. Sorry, I love Winfield Jr.
Agree, John Johnson.
He's a box safety. We've seen him put up over 120 tackles. I mean, he was on pace for like 150 last year. Yeah, he had an okay-ish game last week, but I mean, it's week 1. Like, I'm still taking him over a guy who's a rookie in his second game. So that's me. Jerome Baker or Roquan is my linebacker too. Have Leonard as my LB1. Thanks. I'm going Roquan. I know Jerome Baker had a big game last week, but I'm still taking the player that is Roquan Smith.
I really liked the play last week in Jerome Baker playing the Patriots. just like Bobby Wagner is going to eat this week. So Bobby Wagner, I think, is the LB1 on me and Jordan's rankings this week because of who they're playing.
Oh, dude. Yeah.
Darius Leonard is obviously your LB1. I think Jerome Baker's going to have another good day, but he ain't going to have 50 points. So I like Roquan. I mean, it sucks you can't play three because, that's three good linebackers.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I would want all three of them in my lineup if I could. Okay, we got here. No, thanks, guys. Gotta go get ready for week 2. Good luck. Yeah, you too, man. Good luck. Go out there and show them what the IDP Army's made of. Hunter was dropped because the guy that has so many injuries overall, we can only pick up one player a week unless an injury happens. Should I grab him and stash him if I have Flowers, Buckner, and Hubbard? Yeah, I mean, definitely
Yes.
you want to stash a guy like that with number 1 upside, number 2, top 3 upside. I don't think Buckner, Hubbard, or Flowers has top 3 upside. So I definitely am picking him up for that reason.
Agreed.
Man, Tyler's pitching 100-mile-an-hour fastballs in here today.
He is.
Story. Good morning, guys. Pick one. Ooh, okay. Even with full workload, does Melvin you didn't wait? Where's the question? We'll circle back to you, Clint. Give us something here.
Clint, give me a question.
Even with a full workload, does Melvin Gordon have any chance against the Pittsburgh D? Yeah, he does. Here's my thing, and you saw the the critique of Saquon Barkley's running style, and yeah, I mean, he's a dancer. He's a water dancer. He's bouncing, he's juking, and all this shit. Melvin Gordon doesn't do that. Melvin Gordon is a lot more like Nick Chubb, and he's going
one-cut runner.
He's going to run, cut, and then he's going to put his shoulder down, and he's going to get yards. Like, he's not going to get gobbled up. He's not – Joe Mixon did the same thing the other night. He's all dancing around, tackle for loss, tackle for loss, tackle for loss. It's like, dude, just hit the pile and push through. And Melvin Gordon, for all of his flaws, is not scared to hit the pile. So I'm still in on Melvin Gordon. This is going to be a garbagey game too. Like he's going to catch some balls in this game. He's going to catch some screen passes. And again, what's Melvin Gordon known for? It's finding the end zone and being a legitimate pass catcher out of the backfield. So I love Melvin Gordon in this game. Now we don't have any Phillip Lindsay drama. We already know Royce Freeman is like, yeah, he'll be involved, but he was involved all last year too. And like, what did that amount to? He's a running back 4. So this is a big week for Melvin Gordon. Yeah, it's going to be tough. I don't think it's not going to be tough. But Melvin Gordon, I'm not fading him just because we saw Saquon get destroyed. Because, again, they're different running styles. So, what up, Z-Mags? He said Tuitt versus Denver or Crosby versus New Orleans. I already know what Chief will say. Yeah, you're going to say Crosby.
Look at the stats. I guess Tua had a sack last week, but he was non-existent otherwise.
Yeah, that's a tough line for Crosby to go up against in New Orleans, though. So I'm leaning.
New Orleans gave up like 3 sacks last week, didn't they?
Yeah, but the guy's a lot better than Crosby.
Well, we say that kid had 10.5 sacks last year.
Yeah, he's all right. No, Crosby, he's okay.
How many tackles for loss?
He had a lot. He burned me last week, so I'm mad. Okay, just let me be mad.
I get that. It was a tough matchup, though.
I'm mad. Here, let's just pull this up just for the hell of it. Where is he at up there? Tackles for loss wise, he was pretty high. He was top 7, and really, you could top 5 if you round those guys all out. So Crosby can get points in other ways for sure. I'm with you there. I'm gonna go Crosby too. Fuck it. No, I'm lying. I'm going to go to it. I'm going to go Steelers.
All right, right down the board. Let's see who wins this one. I lost last week because I stood by my guy last week.
To it, V.
Max let me down.
To it, V. Crosby.
We'll
find out.
Adding. Yes, Robert
Quinn. Yeah,
you
should.
Adding.
Robert Quinn should be rostered. And if he's not, then you're not playing in a league with me. Because he's rostered.
Yeah.
All right, Chef Steve, good luck against me today. Are you guys playing in the IDP Dynasty, Army Dynasty?
Yes, we are.
Good. Well, good luck to you both. May the better man win. Don't know who that'll be. We will see. You taught. You too, I think is what that means.
I can't spell.
When one person replies, we
all reply. Yeah.
I don't even know how mine replied. Oh wait, never mind.
Yeah, I have no clue how that happened. What up, Russ? Pratt and Bynes, rest of season. What they were coming into the season, linebacker force that you really don't want to play unless you really have to.
I don't know. Bynes has been playing well, but I think it's Pratt.
Linebacker force you really don't want to play. I'll say it again. If I'm in a hard enough up place where I have to play them, I'm disappointed in myself. How did I get here? Ask yourself that question. Sorry for all the questions. Nah, bro, that's what we're here for, Tyler.
Yeah, we're liking it.
I just want to take advantage of you guys being live. Yeah, bro, that's what we're here for. Take advantage of us. Steve, quit smiling.
Why? I don't want to stop smiling. You're smiling.
I know I am. Good morning, guys. Pick one. Chin, Josh Jones, or Darwin Thompson. Chin who? Like
I guess it means Darian Thompson because Darwin Thompson is not the play here.
Come on, Clint. Oh, this must be from earlier when he said pick one.
Yeah.
A little bit. Chin. That's a dunk.
Yeah, I think it's Chin too.
Yeah. We got here Z-Mag's definitely up there. Yeah, buddy. Lucas CG. You still have JJ Watt around top 10. I am tired of trusting him and being disappointed. Could I pick up Clowney or Drill? I mean, if you're tired of being hurt.
Trusting a guy who got 99% of snaps last week against arguably the top 3 quarterback ever in the NFL right now. So
I'm fine with you not trusting JJ Watt, but to say that you're going to go out and trust Jarrell Casey and Jadeveon Clowney instead.
Yeah, that's kind of.
I mean, it sounds like you trust a little too much, my friend. Like if you trust them and you don't trust JJ Watt, I don't know. You might want to take
JJ Watt had 2 quarterback hits, 2 or 3 tackles, played 99% of snaps. I mean, he missed 2 sacks by minute. I mean, barely missed him against Patrick Mahomes.
Yeah, and that Chiefs defensive line is not bad. I mean, I'm playing JJ Watt. If I have Clowney in over JJ Watt in any leagues, I've been abducted by aliens or somebody's taken over my body.
I mean, we're also talking about a guy who
just imagine that
50 quarterback hits.
Imagine this: you're sitting there and you look down at your lineup, and JJ Watt's on your bench, and Jadeveon Clowney's in your starting lineup. How does that make you feel? Like, how do you feel about that? Just say it out loud.
Is there more bang bust player than Jadeveon Clowney in his entire career, and counting college, by the way?
The thing of it's crazy. He's the one player where it's like all it takes is one.
It's more bust than bang too.
One okay game. It doesn't even have to be a good game. One okay game a season, and then it's just highlight reel, and you just watch that same 3 plays on loop, and they talk about, oh, this guy's so disruptive in this one game of all the 16 games he was in. And I don't know. There's nobody that gets more praise for doing less in the NFL than Jadeveon Clowney, in my opinion, except maybe Sam Darnold and Baker Mayfield. So, Chauncey Gardner-Johnson or Darian Thompson.
Woo!
Ooh, that's a good one. Man, that Cowboys game is going to be juicy today. And then the New Orleans plays the Raiders. That's tough. I'm gonna go. Who you
CTJ? I'm going with Gardner Johnson, which is what I don't know what his new name is, but
he has 2 names right now on Sleeper, so I don't know how to reconcile.
It's Chauncey Gardner Johnson. So for me,
I like Johnson.
I mean, he tell me this: if it was Von Bell playing there last year, and you were deciding between Von Bell and Darian Thompson this week, and you'd pick Von Bell. So CGJ is the guy for me too. You put him first for a reason, and it's not because of the alphabet. I like Chauncey Gardner Johnson. He's got bigger upside.
All right, here's another one. Chin or Phillips at safety? Phillips. I'm drawing a blank right now.
Adrian Phillips.
Oh, Chin. Ugh. I don't want to play Adrian Phillips. He only played like 80-something% of
Adrian
snaps.
Phillips.
But
he also had a sack and led the team in tackles.
Exactly. Like he had a kind of a blow up.
They're basically playing the exact same position right? A safety playing linebacker. So you're going to play chin no matter what. Adrian Phillips is a baller, though. He's a box safety.
Where can I further support you guys? Yeah, just follow us on the old Twitter sphere, bruh. At 50 Shades of Drunk, at Jared Gray, at The Dynasty Chef. Sub to the channel. Share this shit. Go hit the share button right now if you're on Facebook or on Twitter. Go add, subscribe, follow the podcast. We have the IDP 411. That's our group podcast. And I have Defense Matters, Most IDP All Fantasy Football. That's my ranking show. I do rankings once a week on that. Subscribe to all that stuff. Join the Nerd Herd on Dynasty Nerds. That's where I write. Steve writes for a DFF. You can check them out. Expand the Box Score. You're welcome to check them out as well. So there's a multitude of avenues of places where we, put content out or talk and all that stuff. And yeah, if you want to support us, we don't ask our audience for anything monetary right now. We've been doing this 2 years. We don't ask you guys for money. We don't have a donation button anywhere. We just do this because we're doing it. Maybe someday down the road, we'll have a spot where you guys can really come, drop a bag of cash on us. We won't complain about that, but we're not asking for that yet. Not now. But we
also, if you want an
Yeah.
IDP Army shirt, I still have a few left. So just look us up on Twitter, send me a DM, and then we'll figure it out if you want a shirt. They're $25. That includes shipping.
So that's how you can support us, bro. We appreciate it. We appreciate the ask. We appreciate helping you guys. And yeah, it's awesome just seeing you here in the comments, talking to us, chatting with us, giving us questions. And, we love helping you guys win. So Tyron Smith is out. Fire up Dante Fowler. Fire up Grady Jarrett. Fire up Tack if you're in a deep league. Dak's going to be scrambling. So we'll see how that goes. What's the intrigue with Daria Thompson from Zachary? I think it really just comes from the fact that he took the job from Clinton Dix, got him sent out of town, and LVE is gone now. So, he had a big game last week. Look at who was the guy last year who blew up big week one? Xavier Woods. Like, safeties for Dallas are productive, so in general. So that's where the intrigue is coming from, my man.
Yeah, he played really well at Boise State too. I like him, man. I really like Thompson in general. So he's good. That's the thing is, we're talking about a small school kid who came in and pushed the Alabama kid out and has played really well and had a really good first week. That's the intrigue. I'll keep trusting JJ Watt. Nice.
Smart man. Did I drop DeMarcus Lawrence for Chris Jones? Guys, we're already here. We're already there. Do I drop DeMarcus Lawrence for Chris Jones?
Chris Jones, bro.
Yeah, yeah. I don't encourage anybody.
3 years.
First off,
DeMarcus Lawrence ain't done shit.
First off, do you have to drop DeMarcus Lawrence for Chris Jones? Like, are there other shittier players on your team with less name value, less brand equity? Like, I don't know who else are your options. I'm not just saying, I'm not saying you should drop DeMarcus Lawrence.
I don't know how Chris Jones isn't rostered.
If the question is who do I start, Chris Jones or DeMarcus Lawrence, it's going to be Chris Jones for me probably right now. So, yeah,
Here's my question for you. Aldon Smith or DeMarcus Lawrence for the year?
Aldon Smith. We're already there, guys. We're right. It's just deja vu. Like, oh, DeMarcus Lawrence is just okay again. Like,
it's just like last year. We said second week of the season, we said DeMarcus Lawrence or Robert Quinn, who you taking for the year? Me and Steve and Jordan all said, let's take Robert Quinn. And what do you do? Ball out.
Thoughts on Marcus Golden versus the Bears today? I like him. He had a solid year last year. A lot of quarterback hits. He looked disruptive against the Pittsburgh the other night. He's also not afraid to go in there and put his nose down and get a tackle. This defense should be on. Well, this is going to be a kind of a sloppy game, I guess, considering both the offenses involved. But I like Marcus Golden a lot. I don't know let me check my rankings here. I always like to just go back to my rankings just to know how much I really like him. 32 for me right now. One spot behind Robert Quinn. So Robert Quinn's questionable, same game. That's a guy that you can flex, and that's a guy that you could start. And, if you're playing 3 or 4 DLs, he should be in your lineup. So,
yeah, I like it. I like Marcus Golden. He's a big guy last year, had a good year, and I think he finally found his niche at the Giants. They signed to an interesting tender tag to keep him. I say play him. I mean, to even get 2 tackles off the Pittsburgh Steelers last week is tough. That's a really, really solid team. One of the best teams in the league, I think. And I think he has a day today.
Let's do it. Bud Dupree, Adrian Phillips again, I guess. Adrian Phillips, just take him out.
I'll disagree, man. I think Adrian Phillips has a better day than Bud Dupree.
Well, what about the other guys on this list? I mean, it's not just one person. I mean, it's Bud Dupree, it's Phillips, it's Fitz, Fitzpatrick, Justin Simmons, and Robert Quinn in the flex. Of those guys, I'm not flexing Adrian Phillips.
Well, Justin Simmons is the guy that I'm flexing of this group.
I might take Bud Dupree. I mean, he looked so good last week, and that whole Steelers line is it's just a matter of who gets there, because somebody's getting there. Almost every single down or snap. It just feels like. So,
I mean, Bud Dupree had 4 tackles.
Dupree. I'm saying that as someone who passed on him in a lot of drafts this year and really wish I hadn't. So I would probably be flexing Bud Dupree even over Robert Quinn, a guy that I am known to be infatuated.
I mean, Justin Simmons had 8 tackles last week. So, and he continues to play that way.
I hate him.
Not a big sack guy, though. I mean.
Yeah, a little sack on that guy.
Oh, man.
You just don't like the Broncos.
What's to like? Besides Melvin Gordon.
Justin Simmons has been a top 10 safety the last 3 years, so that's what to like.
He's a bum. No, I'm just kidding. I'm taking Bud Dupree. I'm a homer. I'll take the Steeler over the Broncos.
I'm taking Justin Simmons all day.
But you're right. This is a good game because Big Ben was throwing a lot of little short, goofy passes, and we know Justin Simmons loves to get those pass deflections. That's kind of his bread and butter.
Let's put it on the board. Justin Simmons against Bud Dupree. That's my play.
All right, fuck it.
I think Fitzpatrick. Hey, I'll tell you what, Minka Fitzpatrick could definitely get a pick today.
Dupree versus Simmons. All right, so we got Tuitt versus Crosby, and we got Dupree versus Simmons on the board, guys. We'll revisit this tomorrow when we do the show. Guys, make sure you're subscribed and all that stuff. We're going to have, the IDP 411, our week 2 recap shows tomorrow morning. We'll have that posted hopefully by noon. And then next week, I guess Thursday morning is kind of when I'm going to try to drop my Defense Matters show. That'll be week 3 rankings and notes and all that stuff. So keep an eye out for that as well. Next question. Thanks, guys. Yeah, you're welcome, man. All day, Aldon Smith. Yeah, I mean, at this point, he's hot fire. I mean, everybody wants a piece of Aldon Smith. People are asking about Aldon Smith. He had a great game. He led the DL in snaps, I believe. Lots of tackles. He got a sack. He looks good. He's only 30. We know that 30 is it's a taboo number for offense.
We could even say he's 25 because he ain't played in 5 years.
Exactly.
He looks ridiculous. Guy's got an 8-pack.
Yeah. I mean, look at Chandler Jones. Had his best statistical season last year. I think he was 30 last year. I mean, look at Cam Jordan. Same thing, 30. I mean, DL guys don't lose a step at 30. I mean, what was that? Big Calais Campbell year was 31. So these guys at even age might be scary, but I mean, go with the production, go with the talent. I love going with the talent. Snaps are great, but talent sometimes means something too. Derek Mott, my defensive ends are Brian Burns, Max Crosby, Montez Sweat, DeMarcus Lawrence. Okay, I guess this comes back up to should I drop DeMarcus Lawrence? I would try to trade him first and foremost. But if I have to drop somebody and I want to pick up Chris Jones, because Chris Jones should not be on your waiver wires, I would drop DeMarcus Lawrence probably.
Yeah, I'm with you. Of this group, I'm taking – especially
you have to understand, though, if he blows up this week, somebody else will pick him up, and you have to be okay with that. But, I mean, the reality is it's probably going to be someone else's headache. And if he blows up this week, he's going to do it on waivers, so he's not going to be going against you. And you are going to miss those points, but everybody's going to miss those points. So I'm probably
I'll tell you what, Chris Jones is going to get a sack against Tyrod Taylor today. So you might as well just write that down.
Yeah, he will. Fernando Garcia for flex, full PPR. Ingram, White. I'm guessing that's Devin White. Wait a second. Okay, this is an offensive question. Okay, hold up. Who's White on the offensive side of the ball? I don't even know who that is.
James White.
Oh,
James White, maybe?
Mark Ingram, James White. Yeah, I guess the company he's keeping here would suggest that. Mark Ingram, James White, Anthony Miller, Scotty Miller, or Higbee.
It's either Higbee or Miller or Scotty Miller. So, because Godwin's out, Scotty Miller was already getting like 9. He got like 9 targets last week. With Godwin out, I'm really liking Scotty Miller this week. So, and I mean, let's be real. He's basically his Julian Edelman right now.
Kind of is, isn't he?
Scotty Miller is Tom Brady's Julian Edelman right now. That's just what it is. That's who I'm taking in this group, because I think J.K. Dobbins ends up taking the lead at Baltimore, and Mark Ingram is going to – I can understand having him, but James White not playing him. Anthony Miller could be a good play. So for me, it's either Anthony Miller or Scotty Miller. And then Higbee is going to have to deal with Everett coming back from back injury. So Scotty Miller's probably going to get more looks than the rest of the guys. But for me, it's either Anthony Miller or Scotty Miller. So.
Yeah.
Thanks, guys. Cornerback, Janoris Jenkins or Casey Hayward Jr.?
Casey Hayward, bro.
Yeah, who does New Orleans play this week? I feel like we just talked about this.
Raiders.
Yeah, I'm
on Monday.
I'm going to take Casey Hayward playing the Chiefs as well. I don't think he's going to necessarily get an interception or anything, but I think he should be in a position to make plays on the ball a good bit. So
Ioannidis, Kerrigan, Demarcus Lawrence, Josh Allen, pick 2.
Okay, we'll come back up. Ioannidis, Kerrigan, Demarcus Lawrence, Josh Allen, pick 2. Ooh, okay. Give me your thoughts, guys, because I got some thoughts.
Honestly, I think it's Ioannidis and Josh Allen. I don't like the 20 snaps by Kerrigan. Ioannidis played more, I think.
Yeah, I'm Josh Allen, and I'm Josh Allen and Ioannidis. I'm just at this point with Matt Ioannidis where he's solid floor. His ceiling, sure, it's not going to get up in that 30-point range, but he's good. I mean, on a line full of first-round players, he holds his own, and he's not a first-round player. He has been paid by the team. He can play inside and outside. I like Kerrigan. We know what Kerrigan is, but the snaps were lower for Kerrigan. DeMarcus Lawrence, I just do not trust. I mean, it sucks to say that because I drafted him a lot.
Ioannidis only had 8 more snaps, but
yeah. So I'm taking Ioannidis and Josh Allen there personally. I'm fine being wrong with that person. You know, awesome show, guys. Thanks. Chiefs going down today. Yeah, keep dreaming, bro.
Yeah,
crazy.
He's playing me in a dynasty league, so
you're killing me, boss. All right, please pick one for this weekend. DeMarcus Lawrence, Max Crosby, Montez Sweat. I'm sure the answer is not Lawrence. Yeah, that's pretty easy at this point. I'm taking Montez Sweat.
Me too.
I like the snaps he played last week. I like the fact that the line is so disruptive. I mean, there's going to be pressure from everywhere, so that means that there's going to be opportunities for a lot of guys to get home. Again, Max Crosby was just meh, but not even meh last week. I mean, he was bad. He plays New Orleans. I'm just concerned, about that. And DeMarcus Lawrence, I mean, you've heard us already disparage him here a good bit. It's just one of those things where it seems like we're right back to where we were last year. Yeah, he can pass rush and he's good and he got paid and all that.
But, fans.
Yeah, but the numbers just weren't there. So I think So I'm just scared to play DeMarcus Lawrence when I've got other guys that are a little bit more all-purpose when it comes to utility. And I mean, Montez Sweat led all rookie DL last year in tackles. He had 50 tackles and 7 sacks. So that's not bad.
Yeah, and he played 71% of snaps last week. So I like it. So
stick with it. Got another question
Ryan,
here. How about
you knew that was a play wrong?
Richard Malone. How about Jonathan Abram last week? Dude went off. Yeah, he did. He had a good game. I think we could. I mean, that's what you were looking to see from him, right?
Yeah,
he worked into my top 10 for this week. So
Yep. I think he played really well. I love how he goes all day. So
Rich coming back with another one. Washington defense, exclamation point. Are they the real deal? Yeah, dude. I mean, that front seven, the linebackers suck, and the corners are not great. And the safety, they have a good safety and they have a great line. So, I mean, yeah.
Yep, agreed. I think it's a good play. I think they're going to be a solid pass defense, pass rush defense all year.
Yeah, because I mean they're just going to keep so much pressure on the quarterback, you know.
And they shut down the rush last week, so man, they look good to me overall.
Looks like Rocky Sin for Indianapolis Colts is out today. If you're in a CV specific league, you don't want to get him out. Jags, Josh Allen, or Houston rest of season. I guess that's Justin Houston.
I think Josh Allen just had a bad first week, so and it was a bad play. That's a great offensive line.
I think
Josh Allen's going to have a good year.
Yeah, I agree. I think it was a bad week, but I'm still gonna go. I'm gonna go Houston rest of season. I mean, we have years of production from Houston, whereas we only have one season of production from Josh Allen. He adds a better interior lineman next to him in DeForest Buckner. Justin Houston played all 16 last season. He had a lot of tackles for loss. He did hit double-digit sacks. I mean, he was a top 15 IDP defensive end, and you got him so cheap in your drafts. So I'm still Justin Houston there over Josh Allen right now, I believe. So, yeah, I'm going to go with Houston, who was questionable today. I'm going to double-check, make sure he's in.
I'm going to go Josh Allen. That would be something to revisit at the end of the season, though.
It's kind of interesting because they both were questionable with calf injuries, Houston and Josh Allen today. So, another question here from Rich. Will Yannick show up this week? Gosh, that's a great question, man. He looked rusty last week. He did pull a tough matchup. The thing about Yannick is we know he can ghost. I mean, we know he can ghost. Most people don't play Yannick as a one. That's where I would say the difference between Yannick and DeMarcus Lawrence, where people might say, well, they produce similarly. Yeah, but you kind of expect Yannick to be a hit or a miss. A lot of people with what DeMarcus Lawrence has put on paper the first few years of his career, you expect him to be a hit until last year. So in that regards, I'm saying Yannick he's a 3-4 for me this week, probably. I have him at 29. So that's just a little bit. I mean, that's really close to. I have DeMarcus Lawrence too high. I need to put DeMarcus Lawrence down. Need to fix that. Ooh, yeah, he's got to be behind. They're close though for me. I mean, I have them just a couple of spots apart after adjusting here. I mean, Yannick's 29, DeMarcus Lawrence is at 26. So, I mean, they're guys I'm not expecting big things from them. But if I'm not scared.
I think Yannick has a much better week this week. So
yeah, they play. I don't know why I'm so bad with the matchups today. The Vikings pull the. Who do the Vikings play this week? Does anybody know? Colts,
I think.
That's
another tough line. So
that could be tough. Thanks, guys. Time to go. Game time, Tinker. Yeah, don't do that, man. I was looking at all my lineups last night. I was like, do not touch anything. There's a couple of guys I was like, yeah, gotta do this, gotta do that. I was like, no, like I'm set. Only thing I was looking for was my questionables and my outs. Moved them all around. I'm sticking with my guys. That's one way you can lose a league, guys, is just not sticking to your gut or sticking to what you thought, your thought process. All right, offensive question. Who do you start? Miles Sanders or Ronald Jones?
As long as Miles Sanders is playing, I'm playing Miles Sanders.
Yeah, I guess you got to. I mean, he's got more upside.
Yeah, Ronald Jones is going to lose some snaps today to Leonard Fournette. I get it. He did week one,
yeah.
But
he will for sure. 100%. 100%. All right, what do you think about this one? Bruce Irvin or Yannick Ngakoue?
That's a tough one. I don't even know Bruce Irvin's playing this week. Oh, never mind. They're playing. I honestly, I like Bruce Irvin this week. I mean,
yeah, I mean they play Seahawks or New England, right?
New England, yeah. I mean, you saw what Jerome Baker did. Bobby Wagner is a must start for me. He's the number one for me this week. That's a tough one, but I mean, for me, I'm probably taking Bruce Irvin.
All right, we got here. What are you guys' personal thoughts on Avery Williamson once he's healthy? He was the top 20 guy for me last year coming to the season. He got hurt. Mm-hmm. I don't like that it's taken him this long to recover from an ACL injury, which is typically a 9-month recovery, and we're well past a year post-injury for him. I don't know if it has to do with getting in shape. I don't know if there was.
Yeah, look what Juan Thornhill did. Well, let's talk about that real quick.
Yeah,
that dude came back after like 6 months.
Yeah, so it's a little bit scary. He's a 3. He's a linebacker 3 until he proves that he's more than that for me. And that's kind of where I'm sticking with him. Thanks, Ryan.
Agreed.
2022.
He had high upside when he's younger. I'm kind of fading him a little bit for sure. He could surprise us, but I'm like you. He come back from an injury like that and still hasn't shown that he's coming back. So,
DB2 question: IDP 1-2-3 scoring options. Darian Thompson, Chuck Clark, or Kari Willis. Leaning Thompson. Thanks.
I'm leaning Thompson too. Matt Ryan's throwing the ball 45 times, so
it's true.
Yeah, that's tough. I'm gonna look at my rankings real quick. I'm just gonna defer to my rankings. I like Kari Willis against the Vikings today a lot. I know that. All right, so I have Chuck Clark at 16. I have Kari Willis at 17. I have Darian Thompson at 22. So
I could flip that and put Darian Thompson ahead of Clark.
It's all pretty close.
Yeah, it's pretty close. I mean, that's the thing. He's a 2.
It's the matchup for me.
Yeah, I could see that.
Only reason.
I could see any of them, honestly. Jared's going Thompson. My rankings say Chuck Clark, so I'm just going to stick with my rankings. Say Chuck Clark. With very minimal conviction. All right, thoughts on Josh Sweat with Graham and Barnett returning today. Thanks, guys. Great information, of course. I don't have any strong opinions on Josh Sweat. I mean, he had an okay game last week. I don't have Graham anywhere. I don't believe in Barnett at all. I don't have any strong thoughts. I mean, my thoughts are get better defensive linemen, not on the Eagles.
Yeah, dude, it's so tough to even play defense the Eagles right now. I don't get it. Like, who knows who's going to play? So, I got like 5 people trying to call me for some reason.
I'm not really into any of those guys. But I guess if I have to have a take, it's that don't play any of them.
that's solid.
Avoid.
I like Nate Gary. Does that count?
Gary's a dog. Who's calling me? I don't know who's calling me. Sorry, not sorry. All right, we got any more questions lurking around here? They're kind of slowing down a little bit in the group chat. Guys, get the last of your questions in. I mean, we got 30 minutes for kickoff, 35 minutes for kickoff. We appreciate you guys joining us as always. Oh, we got one here on Twitter. It says Shaq Barrett or Dre Greenlaw. That's easy. Shaq Barrett. That's from D_Olastrom4. D from Brooklyn. I will answer him on there as well. But yeah, I'm definitely going Shaq Barrett over Dre Greenlaw. I don't know about you fellas. I mean, that's almost a layup, though. I mean, Greenlaw didn't hardly play this last week.
Yeah, I mean, they had some injuries, and I think Greenlaw is going to be the future there, but
yeah, but it's not the future quite yet. I mean, it could be with one injury. The future could be now, but still not quite there. So, any more questions on the old Twitter sphere, guys? Make sure you like, subscribe, share, hit the bell, hit all those buttons. You know where all the buttons are. Internet's full of them. Just start smashing them. Tell all your friends about us. Join us again next week where we will do this again. We'll be giving you guys the heat. Like you guys have been giving us the heat, man. I mean, how many questions we got over here? 50, 60? I don't even know. So we didn't even get to some of the ones that were on Facebook and on Twitter. But, you guys were here with us live, so we went with y'all's questions first and foremost because that's how we do. We appreciate you. Got another question here. DJ Chark or Deontay Johnson in the flex? DJ Chark. for me. Deontay Johnson, I know we got 10 targets, but he's not the alpha dog on his team. DJ Chark is the alpha dog on his team. And D.D. Westbrook's out today, who is like really the only real incumbent, really. I mean, Keelan Cole, but not really feeling that. So I'm going DJ Chark over Deontay Johnson.
Yep, I agree.
Agreed.
No, pick one, Brian Burns or Montez Sweat.
I love Montez Sweat, dude.
I know. I love Montez Sweat this week too. I like Brian Burns, but I mean, I want to see him have a big blow up game. You know, I know a lot of people drafted him highly, touted him. He got a lot of like touting and gassed up towards the end of the season. But I think Montez Sweat is probably the play, given that he's had more success already. Again, you just have to go with the known talent, the known commodity. So, all right. Littleton have a better performance this week. I mean, I hope so. I mean, it wasn't like a bad performance. I mean, he wasn't a top 10 linebacker, but you can't be a top 10 linebacker every week. I mean, Darius Leonard wasn't this last week. I mean, even TJ Watt, who is the greatest linebacker to ever play the game of football, wasn't a top 10 linebacker this last week. So, what are you going to do?
Oh, wow.
Can't win them all.
The claims this guy makes.
Somebody's gotta juice him up.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Well, I think we should be good there to call it a day, guys. We got 30 minutes for kickoff. We appreciate everyone for joining us today. IDP Army, like I said, the IDP 411 week 2 recap episode, and then the Monday night preview. We'll drop that tomorrow around 9, 10, 11. I don't know, sometime tomorrow morning, mid-morning. And then Defense Matters, the week 3 ranking show will drop on Thursday. And we'll be right back here with you guys next Sunday morning at 11 Eastern. And we'll get a couple more questions running in here real quick. Pick 2, Rashaan Evans, Winfield, KJ Wright. Rashaan Evans and KJ Wright.
Agreed. Same.
Agreed.
No. All right, Jared, send us out if that's all.
Guys, until tomorrow's show and until next week's livecast, let's go, let's go, let's go.